Welcome on the Alcon series brought to you by West African Weekly Sports Digest. We are at the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence in Pram Pram, and this place happens to be the camp base of the Black Queens. This facility was actually constructed in 2008, funded by FIFA Goal Project, and this made Ghana the third African country to benefit from the FIFA Goal Project. It has served as a camp base and also facility for all the national teams when they are preparing for international tournaments. And currently the Black Queens and the Black Maidens are in camp preparing for their respective competition. That's the Under-17 Women World Cup in Uruguay and the Black Queens for the African Women Cup of Nations. Well, on today's edition, we are going to find out how the Black Queens are doing in camp in terms of preparation, as they have just some few weeks to the main tournament, that's the African Women Cup of Nations, which comes off on November 17th. Also have some interviews with the head coach of the Black Queens, that's Coach Bashir Hayford, some players, and also the assistant coach Mercy Tego, who happened to be a member of the first Black Queens team that qualified to the African Cup of Nations in 1998. Just stay tuned. Welcome back on the Alcon series brought to you by West African Weekly Sports Digest. My name is Betty Yelson, and as I said earlier, we are at the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence in Pram Pram, the camp base of the Black Queens, as they prepare to make their 11th appearance at the Women African Cup of Nations. Well, the highest achievements or the greatest achievements that the Black Queens have chalked in the African Women Cup of Nations is runners-up in 1998, 2002, and the 2006 Women African Cup of Nations tournament. Can the Black Queens win this year's tournament? Let's find out from the head coach of the Black Queens, Coach Bashir Hayford, and the assistant coach, Madam Mercy Tego. Well, Madam Mercy Tego was a member of the first Black Queens team that featured in our first appearance at the Women African Cup of Nations. That was in 1991. And she is currently the assistant coach of the Black Queens. Let's go find out from them how preparations are ongoing and if their side is ready to take up the other African teams that will be in Ghana on November 17th for the Women African Cup of Nations. Welcome back on the Alcon series brought to you by West African Weekly Sports Digest. Now we are with the head coach of the Black Queens, Coach Bashir Hayford. This is not actually his first time coaching a women's team. He coached the Black Princesses and took them to the Under-20 Women's World Cup. And this time around, he will be leading the Black Queens to the Women African Cup of Nations, which will be hosted here in Ghana on November 17th. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you very much, my dear.
Well, Coach, on November 17th, Ghana will be taking on 7 other African countries to determine if they can be able to win this tournament for the first time. Are you impressed with preparations so far?
Well, so far, so good, because at the moment we are sure that we've not left any player behind. I'm talking about female players, and then judging from the preparations we have done so far and the trial matches we have played so far, everybody's on board. Everybody who's a female player and is good is here. It is now up to us to pick our strength against people outside the country and see whether our standard is okay or not. Because if you don't compare, you cannot assess your team. If when you compare, then you say we are better than this or we are the best or not. So that is what we are waiting for now. And then we have also invited about it's a maximum of 10 players from outside, hoping that we'll get all. If we don't get them, then we'll get about 6. I think it's also enough to beef up the team. And so, firstly, we are waiting for our professional players, and secondly, we hope to get an international friendly to compare our strength against the teams outside. Because in Ghana, no female team can stand the might of these Black Queens players.
Well, Coach, with that, we know that you have told the whole of Ghana to play some friendly matches. That was, I think, late last month. And now we know next month, that's November, and November 17th, the tournament is starting. When exactly are you preparing to face or engage in international friendlies?
From the word go, the preparation started when they went to Cote d'Ivoire. And had it not been the announced problem, it would have been a continuous action. But there was a break for about 3 months. So we started from August. August, we have to make sure the teams that the players that we camp here get a strong team to play friendly matches, because about 5 of those who played with them at Cote d'Ivoire have already gone for profession, so they are no more here. So we have to at least replace them by, inviting some female players, and so we had a team and we started playing friendly matches at Prom Prom. And then we went outside. These are all preparations that we are making. And I'm saying that at the moment, we are waiting for our professional players, which we have carefully assessed them and monitored them. And then we hope when they come, they will make an impact. October was set for the international matches. And so when they started, what happened was all the teams that are coming here, the 7 countries, they are saying they have not balloted, so they don't know the group they are playing. So if they are playing Ghana, then you engage them in friendly home and away, it will not yield any better. So they want to see the balloting, and then they see the group that are not in the teams that are not in a group. Then we engage them in friendlies. I understand they have pushed it to 20-something, which is getting very late. Going outside now, Europe is not in this at all, because we are playing in Ghana. We targeted Africa, so we prepare from Africa and play in Africa. And so for playing outside, this one is there. So now the assurance is that immediately the draw goes, that very week we'll see international friendlies among the teams that are not in our group.
Won't that be late for you as a coach?
The program, that is what is there. So whether it's late or it's not late, that is what we are going to do. The late started from when there was a break where nothing was going on, and the teams the players were staying at home. And so when they brought us in August, it means you can't come August and start playing international. No, you have to get the team first before you go out for international friendlies. So right now, I don't know who the blame will go to, but sometimes if we get the international friendlies within 3 weeks to time, it's good, because we play 1 week, we play another week, we play the 3rd week, we are entering into the competition, and it is good because you keep your shape and you enter straight away into the competition with a very good shape.
Well, that is the coach of the Black Queens, Coach Bashir Hayford, and he will be leading the team to the 2018 Women African Cup of Nations. Well, Coach, now that you are waiting to engage in some international friendlies, assessing your team right now, I know you said you are waiting for some of your foreign-based players that you've called. What do you think lack now in your team, or you think that you are ready, set to go?
These are some of the questions which are very difficult to answer. If you don't have 2 shirts, you don't compare. You have only 1 shirt, so you are asking me which one is most beautiful. Only one. So you can. That our standard is 1. Ghana, nobody can. So we hope to compare our destiny to outside countries and see. That's why we compare and see our standard. Now I can't compare. I don't have anything to compare now. And so I cannot say anything. What I'm saying is that all these things that we are doing are meant for the preparation into the competition. And so when you pick your strength against it, say, oh, okay, this is Ghana standard and this is Cameroon standard. Cameroon standard is higher. So what should we do to improve the standard? Now you don't know the standard now, because you have not engaged any of them in the friendly. I think you get the point I'm making. Yeah. And now only all the teams that we are engaged in Ghana, they are not up to your standard. So this standard is what we have to take and compare to other. So questions like that, very difficult to answer.
Well, Coach, then if you don't know your standard yet, because as in Ghana, you have been able to beat all the teams in Ghana, and you're waiting to meet other opponents from the African countries. If you are asked that, what do you seek to achieve in this particular, the upcoming tournament, what will be your answer?
You didn't get the answer I gave you. I said we have got a standard. I'm not saying we don't know your standard. And if you don't compare your standard to somebody's compare, you will not know whether yours is higher or lower. This is what I'm talking about. And once we have prepared, and this at the moment, this is the team we have, and this is the standard we have. We are prepared with this standard. So until we compare to other standards, we see that, oh, okay, this is our standard, but this standard outside is higher than us. So what do we do? That is where what we do comes in.
And I'm asking that, what do you seek to achieve with this team at the tournament?
Oh, everybody knows that for a long time we have not qualified for World Cup. Ghana went for the World Cup first time, and that's all. And this is the 20th edition, 11th edition, which is about 22 years now. Ghana is hosting for the first time. And that is the euphoria. Everybody says once we are hosting, you have to. Cameroon hosted it. Host and win. Everybody was saying everywhere you go, host and win. Cote d'Ivoire hosted it. Host and win. Everywhere, host and win. So the same thing. We also host and win. It's a slogan. Everybody, if we are hosting, it's host and win.
Are you going with a slogan, or it's?
No, yes, I'm a Ghanaian, so host and win.
Okay, well,
if I'm a Ghanaian, can I say, oh no, host and lose? I mean, everybody will castigate me. Why do you say you are a Ghanaian? If you go to the president, he will tell you host and win. You go to the minister, he will say host and win. Go to the MCs, go to everybody, say host and win, because we are all Ghanaians. So the host and win is what we put in. For the host, I don't have a problem, because Ghana is a country full of hospitality, where they will sleep, the fanfare, the mascot, all this thing, and what they will eat, and the relationship, all is hosting. But the winning is on the field, playing against the teams that will come. That's what I'm saying, that we have set a standard now, and we want to compare this standard to other teams and see whether our standard is higher or lower. That is where you can say a lot about your team.
So, Coach, then I want to find out, if you are unable, let's assume that you are unable to engage in any international friendlies, is it going to affect your team?
No, that's the standard we are setting for we have set for the competition. If you don't get anything, we polish it again. The same, if we can have some improvement, then we enter into the competition. You can't do anything about it. This is the standard at the moment, and this is the standard we are polishing, and this is the standard we are sending into waiting for our professional players. Honestly, when the professional players come, the standard will go up a little, because they were here and they went, and they helped the team to win the WAFU, and they went. And once they come back, they will strengthen the team. So at the moment, I'm saying the word and the moment is where I'm saying. At the moment, that is the standard. So when they come and we beef up, then the standard will go up, and then we compare it to other standard outside Ghana.
How soon are you to expect them arrive in Ghana, your professional players?
Starting from the end of this week.
Starting from the end of this week. All right, Coach, we know taking any female team to an international tournament, that will be the Black Princesses. What are some of the things that you learned that you think you can imbibe in this team as you prepare to engage in this African Cup of Nations?
One thing is all about preparation. I think it's about 1 year. It's a year now that we accepted to host the tournament. And we started preparing for this in 3 months. So the question we all ask ourselves, the whole of the year, and now we are preparing, we're using that. Preparation is very, very important. Preparation, so many things go into preparation. It's not even only trial matches. So many things. And so we don't have anything to lose when we start the preparation from August, which is nobody's making. We all know something happened, and everything was halted. August, we have to get a team and see whether we can play matches. So the August, we used it to get a team. September, we went around, played all the this, and got to know that the best players that we have now, as far as Ghana football, Misafo, or girls or ladies are concerned, are those who are here. So now we have to pick the strength. I'm stressing. We have to pick our strength again against people outside and see whether the standard here that we are boasting with is the same thing with them, or we are higher than them, or we are lower than them. And so that will inform us to do what we want to do, either to improve or maintain or otherwise.
Well, Coach, lastly, now that we are preparing to go into the Women African Cup of Nations, which of the African teams, I know that the balloting has not been done yet, but which of the African teams do you think will be a threat to your campaign? Though the balloting has not been done yet.
Well, I don't think we underrate any team. And I don't think any team coming is also very soft or very easy to beat. Because this time, Ghana, we went to Kenya and we were surprised. Previously, when Ghana is going to Kenya, we know we are going to win about 10 or 11 there. But this time, that is not the case now. I think you get me. So what I'm, what I'm saying is that I'm not underrating any team. And I'm not, and right now, the defending champions is Nigeria. Cameroon hosted, and Nigeria beat them finals. Currently, if you ask me according to the record, it means they are the defending champions, and that is the team that they might be the same. But now everybody is preparing. As I'm speaking to you now, Cameroon have gone to Germany now. South Africa is in Chile, also preparing. I know Zambia is also embarking on a training tour. So they are all preparing very well. So there's no need to underrate any country. All the teams are this in the record to watch. So I don't want to say this is the team. There's no. All the 7 teams are very, very good and they have prepared. So we also have to prepare.
Well, you heard Coach Bashir Hayford, and he is the head coach of the Black Princesses. We have to prepare well. You don't have to underrate any team, and that is the last word, the last words of Coach Bashir Hayford. My name is Betty Yosin, and this is our series brought to you by West African Weekly Sports Digest.